Yes, I. What an energy right now. What an energy. Let's go.
And we've been partners in crime. Bunny and Clyde.
Yes.
Shotgun by my side while we swerve on a drive. Barely find the time to look in each other's eyes. But
gotta big up all the massive right now.
Change the vibe, yeah. Always on the move, so we got no time to against time like we got something to lose. Missing shampoos, but
yes, sir.
Change the mood, yeah.
Let's find that place, baby, let's go. Somewhere safe, baby, let's go. Got nowhere to go. Drop the tempo. Just me and you. We're gonna take it slow. Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Come on now.
Just me and you. Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Just you and me.
In the eye of the storm where it's safe and warm, matters not the disasters that surround us. Let's find that calm in each other's arms, where nothing is above us or below us.
Oh, yes.
Catering none at all to the clock on the wall. Now the hands of time is not the focus. The high-speed chase, steady pace, and replace. Cause tonight the fast lane will never hold
So
us.
I say, let's find that place.
Baby, let's go.
Somewhere safe.
Baby, let's go.
Quit the fast pace like we got
Nowhere to go.
Drop the tempo.
Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Taking it slow.
Just me and you. Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Baby.
Tonight we're gonna take it slow. Just me and you. Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Say what you say now.
Cross, angry, miserable.
Like wow, your vibe is the right flow. Real slow, balance the crescendo.
Oh yes.
Because I'm feeling your tempo, God knows.
So me say season settle, make we chill. Hotter than the water in a kettle, it a bubble till it spill. Power and the will to let the time stand still. Ay, the chemistry a
Tonight
fulfill.
we're gonna take it slow.
Taking it slow.
Just me and you. Tonight we're gonna take it slow. Tonight we're gonna take it slow. Just me and you. Tonight we're gonna take it slow. Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Hey, on the busy highway of life, you and I have made a lot of narrow escapes. Now it's time for you and I to make that escape. Rock and coming to the very special place, very special.
Cross, angry,
space
miserable.
where you and I can be together. Warm and easy.
Tonight we're gonna take it slow.
Yo, tell me, baby, tell me what's the plan? I suggest you and Jameson. Come on, baby, tell me what's the plan? Won't you come on over here and give me some? Knowing that your body is a wonderland. Alright, here's the plan. I'm your man. I can tell you're sparking from how you're walking. You're the type of girl that would put you all in. We can lose control and go top the chart.
Pull it up again.
Yo, tell me, baby, tell me what's the plan? Ice and Chaser and Jameson. Come on, baby, tell me what's the plan? Won't you come on over here and give me some? Knowing that your body body is a one. Alright, here's the plan.
Ferenzi in the building right now.
Sparking from how you're walking. You're the type of girl that would put you all in. We can lose control and go top the charting. Minute or a few to get something starting.
Roll,
Tell
how
me
we
what's
roll.
a video game. I'm digging your frame, and it's such a shame if you gotta leave. To let you know that I really won't see you again now. That's right. Sky be the. Tell me, baby, tell me what's the plan. I suggest you come on, baby, tell me what's the plan. Won't you come on over here and give me some?
Yes.
It's a wonderland. Here's the plan. You know we do anytime we meet up. It's a sativa and Henny bleed up. Oh, then can't stop your show. This me want you know. Anytime you come around, me know where you go. We can touch the road, take you down a stone's throw. Look that's in your face, girl. I love the way you go. You're the type of girl make me wanna spend all of my dough.
Pull that up again. Pull it up again.
Chasing and Jameson. Come on, baby, tell me what's the plan. Won't you come on over here and give me some? Knowing that your body is a wonderland. Here's the plan. Yeah, man. I can tell you sparking from how you're walking. You're the type of girl that would put you all in. We can lose control and go top the chart.
Pull that up again.
They are members of the Moores Science Temple of America. But I can tell you that public officials here in Guilford County and those who work at the Register of Deeds office know who they are. Lawsuits and liens targeting county officials, such as District Court Judge Tom Gerald.
It's certainly disheartening to find out that you're being sued by someone for doing your job.
Piling up at the Register of Deeds office in Greensboro.
And so it's a tremendously time-consuming process to clean all this stuff up.
Each lawsuit seeks hundreds of millions of dollars, and in one case, $1 billion. All of them filed by groups identified by local authorities as, quote, sovereign citizens.
Well, I don't think anybody expects to receive $1 billion, but it has impact.
Leisha El Shabazel, who identifies herself as a member of the Moores Science Temple of America, says the lawsuits are a form of retaliation for violating the rights of local Moors.
And I guess it's sort of a, I wouldn't say punishment, but an enforcement that other people that come along behind us won't be treated the same way.
The Moores have filed $800 million lawsuits against Guilford County's district attorney and his wife, as well as the county's clerk of court and his wife. One lawsuit targets a child support enforcement officer seeking $200 million.
We're an office where people file documents for public notice. I think when they file those documents like that, people notice.
Judge Gerald took notice when he tried to refinance his mortgage and discovered that a member of the Moores had placed a $7 million lien against his home.
It could have cost me some money. Could have been stuck with my old mortgage. It really it's a bit disheartening. It's hard explaining to your spouse.
Judge Gerald calls the lawsuits, quote, paper terrorism.
We teach people what their rights are.
For the Moores, it doesn't end with lawsuits and liens. Kenny Martin L. is the group's local leader. He carries a badge that identifies him as a consul with the Moores Science Temple of America. He showed us what he says are documented archived facts dating back thousands of years, showing the Moores were here long before America ever existed. As a result, he says the Moores possess inalienable rights that the American government cannot violate.
Do you pay taxes? No, I don't.
And you use this code as a way
Yes, I do.
to avoid paying taxes?
Yes.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, I don't.
Yep. In case you're just joining us today, we're going to be looking at some of the rules and regulation. I just played that clip a while ago, and of course it is explaining our sovereignty as Maroons. Yeah, it's explaining our sovereignty as Maroons, and it is getting to the point where the Moors right now, they are very much on top of their games. The Maroons, aka the Moors, is on top of their games. We're here smack dab inside a place called the United States, but we know that it's called America, aka Amun Ra. And we're here to spit some knowledge today to get our brothers and sisters up to the point. The number to call is 260-209-8730. Love and share the show. We're coming smack dab from our brand spanking new studio right now in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're representing also, as you see in the background, the Nyan Kapong. The Nyan Kapong government. That is the global government of the Maroons that have been doing great things. Let's just take time out to big up all the offices that is located on planet Earth right now. We're in Panama. We're also in the British Virgin Islands. We're also in Barbados. We're in Guyana. We're also in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All these corporations, the Maroons is standing up right now. Let's big up all the massive in the corporation of the UK, which is aka the Vikings land. Yes, we know that much. And today we're going to be encouraging people to get their Maroon ID, your indigenous Maroon ID. The number to call is 260-209-8730. That's 260-209-8730. Call us. You may have some questions that you want to ask us. We are here today to answer your questions. Of course, for those who are just joining us, the Maroon government is also, in recognition of our rights. We ordain our powers through the Common Law Court, the CLC. The CLC, which is the Common Law Court. If you are going through any sort of situation, let's see what they're saying on the outside. Welcome back. Yes, I big up Anu Afar, big up yourself. Yes, we are here to teach our brothers and sisters. As a living man, I abide by the principles of causing no harm, no loss or injury to others. In return, I expect the same of others, and I do not consent to statutory rules, status, or acts of Parliament. My name is High Priest Ras Gadites, and I stand in full accord when it comes on to our indigenous rights, our royalty. Talking about royalty, yesterday we celebrated the 1930, I think it's 1930. Let's not make any sort of misconception about it. It was the coronation. We remember the coronation of His Imperial Majesty and Empress Buchanan. They, of course, let's see what was going on. Yes. The 225th Empress Rastafari Buchanan. The ceremony takes place at St. George Cathedral, Addis Ababa. Yesterday, we're gonna see how best. Okay. We got the DJ going. Okay.
Tad's Record presents the Crown Prince of Reggae.
Here I come with love.
Dennis Emmanuel Brown with his album titled Satisfaction Feeling Deluxe. 28 vintage songs from the Tad's Records vault featuring the world's biggest reggae anthem, Love and Hate. Cherry Love. Promised Land.
The Promised Land. Going to the Promised Land.
Armageddon.
It's the Armageddon. This way.
to stockings.
When a girl changes from Barbie socks to stockings.
Dennis Brown's Satisfaction Feeling Deluxe is distributed by Tad's Record and available on all digital platforms worldwide. Get your copy today. Dennis Brown and Tad's Record, the ultimate reggae experience.
When a girl changes from Barbie socks to stockings, then she's old enough to give her heart.
The all-new Big Apple Hotel Jamaica is an excellent choice for locals, tourists, or business travelers visiting Montego Bay. Air-conditioned rooms, free Wi-Fi, a pool, and secured parking for guests has made the all-new Big Apple Hotel Jamaica a popular choice. So enjoy your stay in Montego Bay at the Big Apple Hotel Jamaica. Call 876-952-7240 and book now. That's 876-952-7240 under new management.
CNG International.
Knockout Production.
Well, a blessed PSA now, Knockout Production. Give thanks to life. Love is the substance of life.
Yeah, as we say, welcome back to the non-stop online radio station. Phone line is going to be open in a minute. The phone line is going to be open in a minute. You just keep it right here. We will be in the building. We are in the building, by the way.
Missing me song and me song them I get renown. Me thank God for the blessing and the success. And the disc jockey them way above this. Make them know said them can't stop me now. Higher heights man reaching. No bed, no sleeping. Stay strong, no weak thing. Don't watch my bleaching. Me want money like leeching. Look how far I'm reaching. Touch the sky past the ceiling. Everyone must be dreaming. Me sing me song and me song them I take we now. Me sing me song and me song them I get we now.
Get we now.
Me thank God for the blessing and the success.
We're just running through the places. Let me say this big and serious. Let me say this big and serious now.
Don't stress me, don't test me. My God,
for those who are inquiring about the IDs, the number to call is 260-209-8730. Alright, I'm asking you. We have your back, we have your identification ready right here. If you call me today, hold the rhythm for me, hold the rhythm. That's Blessed P right there. But if you call my number 260-209, I have a special going on right now. We have a special that is hitting the place right now, and you can call me at 260-209-8730. You want to get an indigenous ID because it is very, very vital. You may be asking, what is this ID is for? This ID is for your indigenous rights, your rights that you were put here on planet Earth, yes, to exercise. It has been hijacked from you. It has been hijacked in the process of applications out there that has your name on it, certificates also that has your name on it. You are also exercising with driver's license and these things that has an attachment to the corporation. Remember, to find out more, it's 260-209-8730. We are here representing the indigenous people right now, the indigenous offspring of the Most High. You can call in. All I need to get you processed is a small a bit of information. I know a lot of people are charging a lot of money to get your process done. We are not here for the money. We're here to let our people exercise their rights. Your rights as a offspring of the Most High determines and how serious you are The number to call me is 260-209-8730. When I talk about your rights, people, you may be saying that Gadites, you don't have the proof, you don't have the backative, but I do have the proof, I do have the backative. I will go back to my tapes that I've been playing. The Moors here in America, they are on their game. They're using their documents. We need to start using our documents. We signed a treaty from 1738, and the 1738 treaty overrides a lot of these corporations. Let me let you hear one more time what's
Well,
popular.
they claim they don't pay taxes and don't need a driver's license to operate a car, and they're not afraid to go after police, district attorneys, even judges when they feel they've been wronged.
They are known as sovereign citizens who believe they are not governed by American laws. Bill O'Neill spoke with members of one such group living here in the Triad. He joins us live now in Greensboro with the story. Bill?
Folks may not know the Moors. They are members of the Moors Science Temple of America. But I can tell you that public officials here in Guilford County and those who work at the Register of Deeds office know who they are. Lawsuits and liens targeting county officials, such as District Court Judge Tom Gerald.
It's certainly disheartening to find out that you're being sued by someone for doing your job.
Piling up at the Register of Deeds office in Greensboro.
And so it's a tremendously time-consuming process to clean all this stuff up.
Each lawsuit seeks hundreds of millions of dollars, and in one case, $1 billion. All of them filed by groups identified by local authorities as, quote, sovereign citizens.
Well, I don't think anybody expects to receive $1 billion, but it has impact.
Leisha El Shabazel, who identifies herself as a member of the Moors Science Temple of America, says the lawsuits are a form of retaliation for violating the rights of local Moors.
And I guess it's sort of a, I wouldn't say punishment, but an enforcement that other people that come along behind us won't be treated the same way.
The Moors have filed $800 million lawsuits against Guilford County's district attorney and his wife, as well as the county's clerk of court and his wife. One lawsuit targets a child support enforcement officer seeking $200 million.
We're an office where people file documents for public notice. I think when they file those documents like that, people notice.
Judge Gerald took notice when he tried to refinance his mortgage and discovered that a member of the Moors had placed a $7 million lien against his home.
It could have cost me some money. I could have been stuck with my old mortgage. I mean, it really is a bit disheartening. It's hard explaining to your spouse.
Judge Gerald calls the lawsuits, quote, paper terrorism.
We teach people what their rights are.
For the Moors, it doesn't end with lawsuits and liens. Kenny Martin L. is the group's local leader. He carries a badge that identifies him as a consul at the Moors Science Temple of America. He showed us what he says are documented archive facts dating back thousands of years, showing the Moors were here long before America ever existed. As a result, he says the Moors possess inalienable rights that the American government cannot violate.
Do you pay taxes?
No, I don't.
And you use this code as a way
Yes, I do.
to avoid paying taxes?
Yes.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, I don't.
Yep. The number to call is 260-209. I know that you're eager to get your maroon ID. It's very important to get your maroon ID. We have to break the set. The phone line is open. Are we trying to get Canada right now? We're trying to get all hail. Grand Rising Willie. You're in the office. Can I get some time from you? Grand Rising.
Can't spare you a few little minutes because I go through my little proclamation and declaration and I correct it, so I go on.
Yes. Willie, you are a true scholar when it comes on to what you're doing. You sent me a tape a while ago with the Moors declaration as to putting a lien on some of these public servants as to police and judges and even their families. Explain this to me, Willie, because a lot of people don't comprehend when we say that we can sue everyone inside the courthouse.
Okay, so the time has come where the people are understanding the fraud that we exist under for umpteen years, and we are correcting the fraud. Because when they drag you up into a courthouse and you have judge and prosecutor and attorney, right? And they fine you for all kind of frivolous things and put you into hardship finding money. Now they have been terrorizing the people for years. So now the people have waken up because, as I've always said, we are in the time of the unveiling, the revelation time, when people are waking up left, right, and center all over the globe. People are realizing now all of the fraud that these people are, that they just operate on a fictional thing. By fictional, they're not real. It's everything that they do is fictional. They, like for instance, when they change your name from the small cap letters as a living man or woman, and they put it in all caps, that is a fraud because you're only corporation and dead entity that you do so, right? So now everybody is catching up on that, and people are also not just realizing that, but they're realizing that they've been over the years being under this system of thievery, fraud, and now the tables have turned where the Moors now, who are the original people on the land, the very name Moors, is about land and marshes and things like that. Anything to do with Moors, the very color of our skin have to do with the dirt. All right. So now the Moors have the power, right? Remember, these are Europeans who have come into America and Canada, and they've been performing under the color of law. They have changed up everything, right? For instance, your very place where you live. If you go back in the history and you look at the name, right? It used to be like a massive piece of land that the United States representatives make a patent, give it a number, and you people don't buy and sell land, right? They simply would occupy the land, and you occupy a lot thereof. These people come and they like you to put a plastic over the piece of land as it in its original form, and you just call it city. And you put a zip code and you change the whole thing so you can collect money from these people, and they have been collecting money on a fraudulent means. Yeah. So now the tables have turned where they now are doing wrong things, and the Moors are holding them guilty and responsible for all the crimes against humanity, for the crimes of against the Constitution, the crimes of using statutes and bylaws and codes to govern the people, which are fiction of law, right? Rather than going by the 19 principles that the people, is the one, the Republic, the United States of America is the Republic, and they elect the government and say, give us, they elect them to serve them 19 services. Guess what they do? They go and then now you elect them, and they go and they make their own laws and come with a whole heap of something with a whole you responsible for, me responsible for. It has nothing to do with us.
All right.
Every time we're supposed to go to a courthouse, right?
Yes.
When you hurt somebody, you're not supposed to go in front of a judge unless it's somebody you hurt, and you say, bring the hurt person, bring the injured party in front of me. But most time you go to court, the state versus Rashkadites, and they call your name, and it's all fraud, right? So what they're doing now is simply putting a lien against these people to say, hey, you've been practicing fraud, and the same way you were charging us money, and it's a lien, and put even lien against your properties and mine, right? These lawyers and attorneys. It's the same way the Moors are now saying, okay, it's time for us to correct this mistake, and we're putting a lien against you and your bond and everything.
Okay. For my listeners who are just joining, this is one of our scholars right here, Willie God. He's in Canada, and we started this program today to highlight how important it is for you to get your maroon ID. We are on this campaign where our indigenous tribal rights that extend to every corner of planet Earth has been manipulated by the corporation, as you hear our brother has just explained via the birth paper, the driving license that you're using, you're buying houses in their names and everything. So we have devised a mechanism that they cannot go around. I've just played a tape where it tells you that the Moors, they are actually on the said path as to what we the Maroons are establishing, because it's very important that we realize that the corporation that gives you the name as to you're a Vincentian or a Canadian or an American, they own these copyrights and you're subjugated by the rules and laws of these copyright corporation. Now, Willie, we see where it's not just saying that we're indigenous. Our writing and our language plays a very important role in that. Explain that avenue to our brothers and sisters as to how you write your name, how you address a public servant when they're there to serve you, especially the police that some of us are very intimidated of.
Well, first of all, the Moors does not use the term name, because name is for, like, again, corporation or entities, dead entities, fictional things, right? That's name. But when it comes to a living man or woman, right? You know, I'm trying to avoid saying a living person, because even the word person,
monstrous.
I was looking at the city hall paper, and I didn't even know that these people, they well know, because they have defined as corporation and entity and company and incorporation. I'm saying, wow, well, it's not, these people know these things. So when they call you a person, right? Anyway, back to what you're saying. So we don't use the word name, right? What's your name? I don't have a name, because the name that is on my birth certificate, it's a fictional character, because you take my birth paper and you turn it into capital letters, which turn me into a corporation, and I will not identify with my birth certificate with the capital all caps name, where you write out in full cap to show that I am a dead entity, right? So we go by the term appellation, right? And you're supposed to we don't do signatures. It is the dead entity that do signature, but the live man and woman do autograph. So that's what you do, and it is done in a certain style. Some people vary, but the most important thing is like your first appellation. So if you go by Ras, you put the Ras and you put a hyphen if you have a middle appellation, right, or middle initial, and then you put a colon to separate the so-called surname, which is your slave master name, that, right, or your commercial side of you. So if you go to court, you don't have to answer to the corporation name. You can just answer to Ras, whatever you want to, but you don't have to. The worst thing we can do is try to say we are the dead entity that is on the driver's license in all caps. People need to get this. Look at your birth certificate. It's all caps in your name. There's a reason for it. It's not an accident. It's deliberate. Look at the license. Look at the bills that you get from the government and the banks, and everybody's putting in all caps. That means okay, a human cannot interact with a corporation. It takes two like things to interact and to contract. So corporation and corporation, fine. Me and you, two living beings, me and you can write a contract, because we can iron out all of the terms and conditions. How can a corporation, a dead entity, contract with me, a living man? It's impossible, because a corporation cannot talk.
Can I remind our listeners how the fraud take place, because a lot of us are listening right now. Let me big up Panama. They're online, and also let me big up our brothers and sisters here in America. People, how this fraud has taken place globally, it is a case study of America, and they turned the United States of America into the USA and left out the word America. At the beginning, we lived on the territory, example, the territory of California, which is another way to say it has a dirt location or maybe a territorial location, land location, etc. While the general public is usually recovering from an engineer depression or some sort of war, your treacherous government working for a few individuals known as privateer, they changed territory of California into state of California, like the state of Jamaica, the state of St. Vincent, the state of New York. These are all changing, and it is at this point that you have been moved from under the constitutional laws. Because I hear a lot of people really saying that, well, we have the Constitution, but the wording of the Constitution is different from the wording of the state. And when you have a wording that is different from the Constitution that the police is supposed to abide under, the doctors, every single individual that's come to this conglomerated understanding that the Constitution will govern the people in the right and just way. But some unscrupulous people, individuals who are a part of the private sector, as we're seeing with the Adidas German brand, trying to cancel another human. Really, this fraud that has been perpetrated and has been going on and on, we are trying to tell our people that the only way they can step away from this is to take themselves by the appellations that the state cannot manipulate them under, and so forth. The birth paper and your so-called driver's license that you're driving with. How dangerous it is to have these documents, Willie?
How dangerous it is to have the government documents?
Yes.
Very dangerous, because as I was explaining earlier, we the people, the Republic, the United States of America, create the government and say, give us 19 service, take care of those things. No, but they go back. So whatever you create, you control. So we create the government. We're supposed to control the government and tell them what to do, what not to do. We employ them and they're public servants to us. But no, they get bad now and say, watch me on the backside. And they turn around and they now create citizens and call you a citizen. And when you and city mean municipal, zens mean slave. So you're a municipal slave. And then they make all kind of little laws and codes and bylaws, and you have to register your vehicle, and you have to get a driver's license, like you need a driver's license to drive a car. Can a driver's my son drive my car all the time on my private property, and he can drive anywhere. But no, if I could put him on the road and they would say, oh, he doesn't have a driver's license. Is it the driver's license that make him drive, or is it the competence of knowing the rules of the road? Right? So all of these documents give them permission now to stop you, or pull you over, arrest you.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut into the meat of the matter, but the word minor has a lot to do with people who fall under the subjugation of the corporation. And the reason why you're called a minor is not in the word sense minor, but it means that you're a dead entity. You're an invalid. That's why when you go to the courts, you have to get representation, because you are an invalid. You're not capable of maneuvering your living body that you're operating in, the vessel that you're in. So that's what you're saying.
Yes, 100%, my brother. You got it 100% correct. When I just came to Canada and I heard the term all along, I heard minor. I'm thinking they're saying, oh, it's just a little bit of you. No, They're saying you're young, you're immature, you don't know law. That is why every little thing. Even a while ago, I called a lady about the water that it's supposed to be spring water, and it's full of sediment when you boil it. And I called them and I say, you need to give me at least $1,000 for compensation, or I'll sue you. Oh, you know, and whatever. So I'm just saying that we have to come to understand that when they say minor, right, she's going to say, oh, yeah, you can talk to your lawyer. Why do I have to talk to a lawyer? I am competent in law. I can say what happened. I buy some water. It's a false advertising. You give me dirty water and say it's spring water. That's a lawsuit right there. They're telling me I must get a lawyer. Why can't I just come and say that and you compensate me? No, go get a lawyer. Why? Because you're a minor. You're a little bit. You're incompetent. You're imbecile. That's how they treat us. And that's how they see us, and that's how they want to see us to see ourselves. So everything you need a third person, because you're a dead entity, and everything they write in black, they write in all caps. So we have to come to the knowledge now. Did you know that even the pen colors make a difference? When you use blue, it's commerce you're doing. And black, it's when you're signing contract and you use black, it's showing that you're a dead entity. And if you ever dare use red, they're going to say, oh no, you can't use a red pen, but the red represents the blood, the living. But they're going to tell you, oh, you're insulting me when you write in red. And you say being told that.
Hold that thought, people, my brothers and sisters. As we said today, the number is open. I'm also giving a discount. If you have any questions, the number to call is 260-209-8730. We are pushing the indigenous tribal identification of the Nyankopon government. We're also asking you to get your appellation right. Get your appellation. Stop giving away your autograph. Do you know that for every... I am running a process right now where all these agencies that you see out there that we're afraid of, like they have agencies to give you shelter because the government is built on that. They have agencies to give you food, agencies to give you clothes, agents to even give you currency so you can live. But what has happened is they have brainwashed us to believe that the government has no responsibility. They are just there to take our tax money. But we need to know that there's agency. I'm going to give out some numbers to some lucky people who if you're in America right now, the United States is what they call it, there are, and you have bad credit, we can clear up that for you and let you get a house, get a car, buy land, get all these things, because the corporation, we are exposing all of these things. The 1%er who always bottleneck this is not happening right now. When I tell you that my maroon ID has been creating a difference when it comes on to a transaction as far as identifying as indigenous people, believe me, the number to call is 260-209-8730. If you have any question that you want to ask me, you can ask me right now. We are going strong with this momentum because it's useless for you to be in the midst of water and thirsty. I know someone is listening to me right now that can't even pay their rent. We're going to see that you get an ID that can give you some of these access. We have trust funds that is lined up as a collective measures that we're topping in. Right now, the corporation has infringed on your rights. You can put a lien on them with our identification. You can put a lien on judges, police, individuals, soldiers, politicians. You can put a lien on them that when they go to the bank to get any sort of financial assistance, it is on their record on behalf of the Nyankopon government. This is how powerful we are moving. Willie God is on the line. We're trying to get the British Virgin Islands, and I'm saying this extendedly to our earthly brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter your jurisdiction that you're living right now within the corporation. Common law is something that we practice around here, and let me tell you how serious of a point we are bringing across when it comes on to our common law. Our common law that we're operating is that's what give us our judicial empowerment that we need. You were born from your mother without any form of tag on your body. It is the corporation that has tagged you and at this time operating under the maritime law. The CLC people, the common law court, says, as a living man or woman, I abide by the principles of causing no harm, no loss or injury to others. In return, I expect the same of others and do not consent to any statutory rules or status or act of parliament. Will he explain that to our listeners who may not have swallowed all of that a while ago?
Say that part again, please.
It says in the common law, the CLC, as a living man, I abide by the principles of causing no harm, no loss of or injury to others. I, in return, expect the same of others, and I do not consent to any statutory rules, status, or act of parliament.
Amen. All right. So that is what I said earlier. When they change your little common letter name that you're a living being to the big name, you're a corporation, then whatever. That's why you comply with the driver's license, the registration of your house, the registration of your land, the registration of this, that, everything. You put it under the government. So you buy a nice brand new car, you register it. What you're doing is saying, here, you're gifting it to the government, and that's how the tax out your backside. So we now, Republican form of government, we indigenous people who have the right to change and move from that they tell us that we're a corporation. Now we change, reverse the process, claim our estate. You're not gonna let go of the name that they have. It's now like your company name, but you're not it. You're not it. You don't dare identify as that big capital name. So now you are only to go to court when you injure somebody. That's the only law nationals apply to. Those are the only laws applied to nationals. You rape somebody, yes. You were speeding or you kill somebody, yes. You have to go to court or you go to prison. You kill somebody, yes. You violate. So you must go to court and be found guilty, go to prison. Because those are when you bring an injured party or a dead party is known. So a crime, real crime, and was committed, and it's constitutional. But all these other little things, when they make it into the corporation and say that it's just something like you have some Walmart people just get up with them uniform and say, "Come, we could just sit down and make up some little thing on paper and just make some people answerable to it." Who the hell is Walmart?
So
Would you do that?
So hold on. Hold on. I think what Willie is getting across is that there are artificial laws, people, and then there's natural laws. What the Maroon ID is, we put you under your naturality because you're a natural. You're naturally born on planet Earth, so they can't call you squatters. You're naturally inhaling air that you breathe, so they cannot call you a squatters. Now, artificial laws is of the sea and admiral maritime jurisdiction. Understand this, people. The sea is why you have citizenship. The sea is why you get documents. The sea is where you get cargo. So these maritime laws now, that the paper that yours, your birth paper, this is how it attached to these artificial laws. This is how your driver's license attached to these artificial law. You do not drive, you travel.
And they are contractual laws.
Yes.
So every time, for instance, you're driving your car and the police flash you with a blue light. What they're saying, hey, come, let's have a contract with you. And that's why I heard of a case, my brother, where they tried it with a guy who was traveling in his vehicle, and he traveled with a printer, and he says, okay, when he rolled on his window, he print off his invoice for $25,000 and hand it to the officer when they say, give me your license and your registration, and when he handed it to him, he says, what is this? He said, you're contracting with me, that's my cost for a contract with you, $20,000. So you're crazy. Let me go talk to my supervisor. The supervisors talk to him and say, yes, it's legit. So what you need to do, give back the man his papers, tell him to have a nice day, and don't contract with him.
Yeah.
Because when you contract the sea, laws of the sea, you're on land, you're not supposed to be in contract with them. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, the laws of the sea, Admiral, maritime jurisdiction, this is how, when these are some of the artificial things that come with this laws of the sea. It has no status, act, rule, or codes. The laws of the sea. It's a dead legal personality registered. That is your birth paper right there, people, under the laws of the sea. You are artificial person, aka a corporation, with the birth paper and the passport and the driver's license. All of these things from the corporation, it turns into an artificial corporation. You are public service bond. That means the servant of the corporation, like the police, the fire, the doctor, the teachers, all of these people who work on the appellations. Nurse is an appellation, police is an appellation, fireman is an appellation, doctor is an appellation. It's not an individual. So these persons who are operating under these public service appellation, they are actually nothing more than a bond as public service. The public capacity, you're limited. You're given not rights under the maritime, but you're given what they call it, privileges, legal privileges, benefits, grim and revocable. That means that they can revoke any, like if you have a government driver's license driving with, they can take it from you because they are the one who issue it to you, and you're a dead entity, so they don't need to respect you, the individual. You're dead to them. They're doing their job to take care of the dead. Other things goes on to, it says legislated rights prescribed by the state. That means that the state will take your rights and give it to you as they feel like. You're also a debitor. You're liable for debts. That means that name can sue you when you go to the courthouse. The lawyer, the judge, every prosecutor, all of these people, they're getting paid, and you can put a lien on every one of them. You can sue the judge. I mean, when the judge go to get a loan from the bank, he can't get no loan because guess what? There's a $1 billion lien on the judge who have infringed on your rights. You have the right to ask for $1 trillion. Once they step on your right, you can ask for any sum of money that you feel pleased to get at that time. Willie, I don't know if you want to throw in anything before I continue with the artificial laws of these criminal entities.
Well, the most I can, boy, I tell you, I love how you bring it across. Even you're very clear so that people can understand, right? We need to understand the law. It's law, mean it's LAW. You have land. You have land, different, the type of laws that apply to land.
Hello, everyone.
Is common law.
Hold on. I want to talk to you briefly. I'm kind of shocked to ask.
Hold on, Willie. Willie, I think I have
about fraud or that was committed.
Hold on. Oh, sorry. Continue, Willie. Sorry, that was an interjection from our outside box right there. Continue.
Yeah, I was saying, you have LAW law. Land, it stands for land, air, water, or sea, right? So, the land is common law. Do nobody harm. If you do somebody harm, you're going to pay for it, and that is when you hurt people. Not like when you drive your car and they stop you for frivolous thing. Oh, yeah, I feel like you were drinking and blah blah blah. No, those are codes. You want to put on a little room on your house? Oh, you're gonna have to go to a 10,000 bylaws and pay money to a city that don't own your house, but you have to get permission from them. Permit
to a state.
So
to a state.
Yeah, our state, Yeah, so,
because
but are not applicable to common law.
Mm-hmm.
Common law is only when you hurt somebody. Hey, now the air waves, right? This basically represent the water represent your contracts and so on, right? And your ear, it's like you try to keep your thing together. Like, for instance, you do a trust. Did you know that most of the billionaires today, how you think that they rule the world? They do it by trust. Every one of us should aim to have a trust. Why? Because when your thing is locked away in your trust, it is private. No government has any authority. That's the Constitution I'm talking about now.
Yes.
No government has the authority to invade your trust. Your trust simply is this. You're saying, if I have a house, I need somebody to take care of my offsprings, and I'm going to will it to them. And so I am just telling this trustee to make sure that they get it. Make sure you take care of them. That's it. So you have a grantor.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. And you put the trust together, and you get a trustee, somebody you trust, of course, to make sure that they get what you leave behind when you pass away. And your beneficiaries which is your offspring. So that thing.
Yeah, continue. I want to jump in on the said point.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You were mentioning about the trustee, and I need my people to know that with your indigenous tribal ID people, because this is what we're saying, that it's not money that we don't have, We don't have the collective effort. I'm urging you right now, you're watching this podcast, I need at least 5 to 10 people to call 260-209-8730. Let us process your tribal indigenous documents right now. It is important because you've been operating under the mind frame of the artificial law of the sea, LOTS. Yes, Lord of the Sea, the Admiralty Maritime Jurisdiction. These are some of the rip-off that is reaching you as Willie talk about the trust. It says your legal rights can be prescribed by the state. They can dictate to you what your rights are. Your debit liability for debts. That means that even until you don't pay off the house, a millionaire, them still are going to charge your picnic because you're under the Admiral Maritime Jurisdiction. It says trust and trustee will always have to pay. You just hear Willie said a while ago, it's just like you opening a business. If you open an LLC, it is a form of a trust. Everything that the business is going through does not affect you, the individual. So you are born from your mother's womb, and they use gold as a standard of wealth. Now, when the granny tell you say you're worth your weight in gold, it simply means that when you were born from your mother's womb, the stock market that is operating under the corporation on all of the maritime laws, because the stock market does not belong to the government, it is a conglomerate of privateers who collecting these money. So you were born with $1 million. They put it on the stock market, and over the last, how old are you now? I am 52. So for the last 52, they have been trading my $1 million every single year, like Bible, like church. And they take that $1 million while have it there for you, while the profit over the last 52 years have been split in by the privateer. So people, Where trust is very important. Wait a minute, Willie. It says accommodation party debit. That means that when you live somewhere, the government provide the house where you pay rent. Every time you pay the rent and sign the receipt, it is not the money that counts in a person, and it is that autograph we Willie tell you about that give them the authority to go to the treasury with that promissory note, because not because it never on the Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or the President pan it means that it's not your autograph. When time a Hollywood star give your autograph, you know how much that worth? If I could get a Elvis Presley autograph right now, then pay me millions. Let me continue. Legal commerce, vessel on the sea. You are a legal commerce vessel on the sea. That's why the police can pull you over and say license and registration, because as far as I'm concerned, your name is in caps, you're operating, you're a corporation, you're a company, so them can deal with it like a business place. Signatures are fiction. Signatures are fictionable. It is not real. So when them tell you say to sign your signature, they're entering to a false contract. Now, before I let Willie go in, I want to tell you, as a indigenous natural man or woman, when you call me right now to sign up for your ID, as a natural man and woman, these are some of the benefits that we are going to see that you're getting at. Law of the land, common law jurisdiction. They will do you no harm because you're a living, lawful man or woman. You're recorded with the Nyankopong government. When the police call and go up and say, who named Nyankopong? Yeah, you go up on Google, it there, Nyankopong, maroon, 284 years. When you sign for your card, you become a natural living man or woman. You're a private sovereign. You're free from all of the artificial laws them where them have a govern you under the maritime law. Your private capacity is unlimited. That means that when we give you the flag for put up out of your front of your yard there, so, and it mark no trespassing, when the police come in, can always ignore it. But in the ship, which is the courthouse, where you go and stand up and defeat them, him not have no power, because you go sue him. You put a lien pan him all, him pick them if you go to college. You go say the pick them don't get none of them opportunity there, because you go put a lien pan him with our maroon ID. Before I let Willie come in, because I have about 5 more things to go tell you about the benefit of getting your ID. 260-209-8730. Call me right now. Call me right now. Send a text to me. Write down the number. You call the number. It will give you liberation. Don't let them tell you nothing. Last, before I go back to Louis, to my brother Willie God, lawful right properties inherent and inviolable. That means, as a sovereign, them can't run. It's like how the Prime Minister of Jamaica run up and talk about him and want to give people license for land or register. You can't register when it belong to you. This is sovereign land. So when the police come and say them are go mash up the land we belong to our ancestors, in under the as me say, we are put lien, get the police them number and name. We are going to put lien on the individuals. So you see all the judge up there going like him a God Almighty. When he go like bank to get a loan for him pick me them for buy a house or go up on vacation at it one lien, then them have to go pay off a $5 billion lien.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
yes,
I know. Oh, we're going to tear down the corporation. Yeah, where you say, Lou? Before me go on, where you say, Willie? Go on.
Yeah, man, I saw where I forgot to deal with it, because, you know, every day I ask you one simple question.
Yes.
When them have that statement, I hear it from ever since. The crown controls the land, owns the land. I mean, I said the crown needs the queen and the British monarchy along with the attorney at law, them, where you turn over your power to and you turn over your authority to. And them say, oh, the crown owns the land. One simple question nobody now answer me. When did Almighty God who create the land give the crown the land? When? Did not God give us to inherit and every man for live on it and every man for do what they want to do? When did one set of people get that authority and the title from God Almighty that them can say them own it? When did they create it? No one ever see when, where, and how and why did they create it? And own, because whatever you create, you own. So me want to know when them create that the thing there, that them own land. Because of them can't show me when them create it and the day when them create it. Me not talk about some paper where them make up all criminal fraud paper and talk about them own the land and then them sell back people it and cut it up in a pieces and sell you. And when you put your little house where God say you put on it and you have to pay tax and when you not pay one day, them same one kick you off of the land and kick you out of your house and make you live under a bridge. And then they turn around and sell it to somebody else. And when the person can't pay, they go back and do the same. And when the person pay, how much years, right? And you think them done. Then go back again and when you're dead and gone, they charge you pick the pennies so that the land never done pay for because they are criminals.
Yes, common criminals.
Telling people that your land, you have to be paying for land. Where did you get that title from the Almighty? Do you know what it takes to build a piece of land, to make a piece of land? You don't even know the first ingredient. The Almighty God make us with so much land. Nobody, no man, no woman today should not be living under a bridge and homeless. As a matter of fact, as you were saying, Elder, we are the creditors. When we born, them take $1 million loan from IMF and we birth certificate and them keep on investing that. And if some of you ever look for your birth certificate and see how them trustees there build it up, some of you all are billionaires, you never know. And yet still some of you, when you can't pay a little land tax or your little rent or mortgage, them kick you out of your house and take it away and give somebody and say, go and live under the bridge. That time if you look in the birth certificate bond where them create on your behalf, it value billions of dollars and yet still they treat you like you're a piece of crap.
Quite so.
That's what hurt me with the fraud.
Yes.
But nobody in this world should be landless or homeless because there's so much land. When you drive, the other day I drive from Canada to Florida, and the amount of abandoned land, you drive, land of people. Oh my God! And you tell me you have some people homeless and don't have a piece of land, and if them forget a piece of land, they have to go get some fiat currency. God gave us it free. Give the people the land, let them live on it. Don't turn it into no commerce.
Hold that.
Charging the
hold that
criminal.
thought. Hold that thought. As you heard a while ago, the fullness that we're giving to you right now is about how to get your indigenous rights activated. You have to activate your rights. If you do not activate your rights, the corporation see you as a dead entity. And while I'm saying that, let me reach out to Vanessa, because we are going to have our Nyankopon classes today. How you get into our classes and our seminar is also by getting yourself documented. We're not telling you that this is the only documented route that you can take. As you hear our guest online, Willie, he is affiliated with the Moors, as a lot of our brothers and sisters, and I will be talking to Sheriff Nine Feathers to see how best we can get that. But it's as long as you have your indigenous, your natural rights, your law of the land, your common law rights in place, the corporation will have to move off. It says your lawful right to properties and inherent and inviolable. That means that you have that right. Unalienable rights cannot be alienated. In other words, you were born in this world from your mother's womb. So this maritime law, which is a ship, meaning, so they're calling your mother actually the ship of life that dock with the cargo, the goods, stocks and services, and they put that momentum going. As you hear, a lot of people believe that these corporations get up and let all of this just happen. They did not. They hijacked the civilized way of living. Because even if you go to some of these Arab countries, like Saudi Arabia, when a child is born, they're given a certain amount of monetary contribution, because this is a living man or woman that is actually going to need clothes, food, shelter, transportation. They're going to need it. So the government in itself has been doing it. And it's not only Saudi Arabia. Here inside of the place they call the United States, there are several agencies that is put there to assist us, the native, the indigenous people who exist long before the 1492 hijacking of our civil liberty. And we are going to put these agencies out. I think I have a lady, I'm going to talk to her to let our people know that don't go through the winter without gas. Don't go through the winter sleeping outside, because the money that is being printed is only ink and paper. We're going to the next level, people, where it's going to be digital. I can send $1 million digitally to your phone, and you have access to merchandise that you need. Let us not be uncivilized in a time like this. Let's not be surprised that we do have the maroon documents here. This is what we've been working for. The time is now. Liberation is now. As a natural person, also registered under the Nyankopong sovereign government, creditors and creators of wealth. You become a creditor and a creator of wealth with that autograph that we're going to have put in place. When because you've been signing your autograph for the last 30 years and you don't even know that how you sign your autograph is actually giving rights to fraudulent people accessing your wealth. Trustees, they are beneficiary. When you go into a courthouse, do not tell when they say, John Tom. Yes, my honor, I am here at the special appearance wished of this ship on behalf of the beneficiary, John Doe. We are going to teach you, we're going to give you the ammunition with Nyankopong to let them know that we are the true liberators. I'll even go further to say that we secure party creditors. That means that if your mother was here and she died, we are going to get that money that your mother was owed. We are on the mission, people. This is the government of the people. We open our mouth, and the rest of the brothers and sisters, they have to know that this is very crucial for our people to be documented. I know you may be living in Jamaica, you may be living in St. Vincent, in Antigua, Barbados, Aruba, even Cuba, Havana, and you have figured more or less that you don't need this sort of assistance. Our jurisdiction does not cover only the land, it covers you, because you are a corporation under the corporation. We are only going to take you into a natural form where all of the problem that the straw man that has been getting, they lock you up. They're not supposed to kidnap you. There is no such thing called an arrest. It is a kidnap against your will. People, let the Nyankopong global maroon government get your file right now. The number to call is 260-209-8730. We have branches in Canada, we have branches in the UK, we have branches in St. Vincent, in the Bahamas, in Nyankopong, the place they call Jamaica, to name a few. We're also in Panama, because we're not leaving none of our brothers. And anywhere you are right now, Bahamas, we're there also. Anywhere you are right now, and you want to be a part of this liberating movement that's taking place with the government of the people, for the people, by the people, you need to call me right now, 260-209-8730. Before I let in Willie, I'll throw some more spice to let you know when you signed up with us what is part of the package. Lawful trade. Lawful trade. You know what lawful trade is? None or no one should hinder you from providing for your living life. You are a living, breathing entity. So you're supposed to be trading. You see, like how they're taxing you. You're not supposed to be paying tax. How can you pay tax for a school that built 30 years ago? You're paying tax. How can you be paying? You're not supposed to be paying insurance, because insurance is not a law. It is an option. Come on, man, my people. Autograph. You must understand, as I said before, they are facts. Signatures are fiction. Autograph is factual. And how you sign your autograph, you have to have your all right reserve. ARR. Willie, am I wrong in any capacity that I just explained a while ago?
All right. So when you're dealing with commerce,
yes,
right, it is your signature. But so you can use that for the vessel or the straw man that they create. That is for that. But you, the living being now, it's your autograph that you do things with. So you leave the signature for the commerce.
Yes.
And you use the appellation and your autograph. Or just, it's like you're in the private then.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You become, because watch this, you know. Once you nationalize, you become a Moor or Maroon, right? Or even an American state national, whatever you choose.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to self-identify, right? You have basically changed your status. And once you change your status, means your standing is different and your jurisdiction is now different. So nobody have that clout over you, because you're not in their jurisdiction, because you're taking yourself out of jurisdiction. So you have status change, which automatically change your standing. Once your standing is changed, your jurisdiction is changed. So all right, well, let's say you become a Maroon now, and you have your flag and your IDs and all of those stuff, and you live on you live at your place, and you put up that flag. No policeman can just come and kick off your door like that, because it's like you would go to the American embassy or an embassy and you just invade their embassy. It's like invade their nation. So you don't do that, because this person is in the private. So their private property is trespassing. And I tell you, I heard one gentleman say, if any of these policy pushers should ever do that, they're living in a body bag. Well, I won't go. I'm a peaceful man, so I won't utter those words, right? But by right, they're not supposed to invade. Once you nationalize, they can't just come. And the next thing, your offspring. I'm trying to get away from the word children or kids. The worst one is kids, because only goat and them animal, they have kids. So you don't call them kids. We have to get rid of those things and call ourselves black, right? Because those are fiction that they try to put on in our psyche and make us accept it. Because once you're saying you're black, you're saying I'm stateless, I don't belong to anywhere. That's what they created for us. We're black. Oh, black is the color of law. You don't belong anywhere. Yeah, don't identify yourself as black and Negro and all those things. We must use the proper wording as best as possible.
As Willie is saying a while ago, before I go to commercial break, because I want to say big up to the place that is called Montego Bay St. James in the Corporation of Jamaica. We have
Galtigo Bay, not
Galtigo Bay. You were saying a while ago how important an appellation is. I will go into the books right now. It is a very serious thing, people. Words are powerful. It says that any registered name formed by joining an appellation, given name, with a family name, often prefixed with a fictional title such as Mr. and Mrs., Captain or Officer or Judge, etc., such as Mr. John Doe, is a dead artificial person. So the minute you put Mr., Mrs., Captain, Officer, Judge, these are all actors, These are dead entity. They have no jurisdiction on the planet Earth. The name can be described as a person a legal name, a legal personality, an artificial person, a legal fiction, a company, a trade name, a vessel, a transmitting utility, a creature of the law. That is what persons mean. Ward of the state, employee of the state. You're a franchise, you're a earnlingist, you're a public servant, you're a estate trust, a deceased estate, a descendant, a corporation, or simple a corpse. So when a policeman say, to who am I speaking with? What do you say? You're not dealing with the person, because that's a monster and a dead entity. You're not the what's your name, Mr. The minute you put the word Mr., Mrs., Captain, all of these things, these appellations render you null and void by the corporation. Remember, on any document, to avoid the presumption of John Deere or one of those dead fictional things, it is at least necessary to use proper grammar. An ideal reserve all your rights. For example, you will write your name like John with your colon, of the family Doe with a full stop, all rights reserved. And that in itself tells the corporation that they were given a name by the name of John, but you're of a family of Doe. That means that when they're going to see you, you don't fall from the tree, Willie, did you? You were born from a woman. So this connection to your mother and your mother's mother's mother is still there, but the corporation takes away some of those rights. Willie, I don't know if you have more time with me. It's been very, very good. I want to go and get a commercial break, and then I may spin around, but keep on digging. And I think that what you're doing to sharpen your right sword is very, very, very commendable.
Well, it's not just that, it's necessary in these times when these Babylon system want to just think that they can just take control of people with force, because all they do is use force and gun and threat, and they call us, like the thing that you just watched just now with the Moors putting lean against them, they're calling it paper terrorism. So what would they call what they have been doing over these umpteen years? What do we call that when some of them show up to people's home or stop them in a traffic and they end up dead? What do you call that? What's the name for that? When they go to people's home and say, a little boy, I will never get over this one. When they go in to serve the boy a summons and they open the boy's bedroom and it was on his bed with his what do you call it? Vape, right? Vaping. Oh, we thought it was a gun he had, so we killed him. Yeah, what do you call that? What's the name for that? Murderers, what's the name for that? In my area, it's not very many people of color here, right? And the one gentleman was just having a vibes and playing his music. Some of these evil people call the cops on them. The man end up dead, and yet still these are peacemakers. These are peace officers, and then you end up dead. So what do you call that? What do you call that? And making people homeless, taking away their disenfranchising them over these many years, bringing them in your court and finding them guilty of crap and taking money from them. What do you call that? Is that justice? Is that paper terrorism? It's worse than paper terrorism. So you can always call the Moors and say, oh, when they do it to the judge, it's paper terrorism. What do you call what you've been doing, sirs and ma'ams?
Hold that thought, Willie. Hold that thought. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I have our brethren here, Willie, and he's not holding back with some of these revelation that we're putting forward. It's all about your indigenous tribal documents. You need to get your indigenous tribal documents. The United States is a part of the United Nations. All the corporation is a part of the United Nations. And it is abundantly clear that the United Nations with these adjoining members has come to the overstanding or the understanding that they have been dishing out a lot of fraudulent activities. And we're here today to encourage you to call me at 260-209-8730. Call me, send me a text. Say, Gadites, I've been listening to you. I'm residing especially inside the United States, and I want to get that ID. I need to get that ID. You've been living here as a fugitive. The state does not give you any sort of documents to conduct your business. This indigenous tribal document will allow you to do your transaction not as a subject of the corporation but above the corporation, because the only reason why you are called an alien is because you're not aligned with the corporation and all its jurisdiction that it so-called have. Before I go to commercial break, I am so happy that Willie is here to assist me. Remember, when you sign your name in capital, it's an adjective. An adjective. You must understand that Gage Canadian Dictionary in 1983 says all capital is actually an adjective to take advantage of, to use one's own advantage. John Doe, a person who is his own master, right? Black Law Dictionary provides a more comprehensive definition as followed. A capital means the demising of the status to the use of capitalization under the Roman laws. You have to know that. And the Romans, they had a maritime understanding as to how your rights must be applied. A diminishing or abridgment of personality, a loss of curtailment of a man's status, or an aggregated of legal attributes and qualifications. There's so much for us to unearth here. I'm going to get a small commercial break and then I shall return. Stay on the line, Willie. Don't go nowhere.
The all-new Big Apple Hotel Jamaica is an excellent choice for locals, tourists, or business travelers visiting Montego Bay. Air-conditioned rooms, free Wi-Fi, a pool, and secured parking for guests has made the all-new Big Apple Hotel Jamaica a popular choice. So enjoy your stay in Montego Bay at the Big Apple Hotel Jamaica. Call 876-952-7240 and book now. That's 876-952-7240 under new management.
Freshradiovybz and RPM presents live each Tuesday the award-winning community show, The Maroon Agenda. Hear about your sovereignty, independence, and human rights. Come be a part of your liberation and unite. The Maroon Agenda. Each Tuesday at 6 p.m. sharp, live on Freshradiovybz with your host, Ras Ganik, the Minister of the Atlantic Islands. Rise up, you mighty people, and listen to the Maroon Agenda.
Stop the fussing and the fighting, brother.
This is a public announcement. A tree without its roots shall die, and a nation without its identity can never prosper. The Nyankipong, sovereign Maroon Global Tribal Nation territories, partners of the UN ILO Indigenous and Tribal People Convention Law, have your identification card. Get it now. Your nationality as a Maroon sovereign person give you the protection of the laws of the rights that you deserve. Application forms are available now. In the USA, contact Representative Russ Gadites at GADIETHZ Gadites@gmail.com or call them at 1260-209-8730. Contact the Jamaican head office at 1-876-605-7987 or 1-876-773-4594. Visit our website at nyankipongmaroonsovereignstate.org. Call, sign up now. United we stand with the Nyankipong Maroon Sovereign State. This is powered by Freshradiovybz and the Nyankipong Sovereign State. Now the dream has become a reality.
Yeah, now the dream has become a reality because you can call me right now. You can call me at 260-209-8730. And big up to our listener over there in Galtigo Bay. We overstand that management and staff at the Apple, yes, that hotel that you hear me playing a while ago is very much happy with us. Willie, you going on for the Christmas, I think. You buy a ticket and everything, you will be heading into Nyankipong?
No, I'm not really making a plan for that right now. I have no such plans because, when you're going, you have to go with, that's why I'm talking about. You have to go with family.
Mm-hmm.
And I just came back from Florida a couple months ago, and these things take their financial toll, and I'm not as rich as you,
with all of that trust money is still declaring. Some of you travel for Christmas and up on the declaration form, all on the declare is the banana and the breadfruit and the mango them. And not even declare so is sovereign. So you gotta have money. You gotta have money for all the time you travel on plane and you get a big custom form with a big word. What do you declare? And the only thing they declare is that you bring back Johnny cake, so you bring back roast breadfruit and Cersei and fever grass, and don't declare say you're sovereign. How you feel about that?
Yeah, that consciousness is a good one, so we have to just practice it as you say. We have to start doing that, of course, because you have to get the message out, and all that we've been talking about this morning, I hope that your listeners is aware that is not figment of our imagination we're doing. We're talking about the Constitution. Everything that we have mentioned here, we didn't just get up overnight and make up story, right? We got it from the Constitution, but the problem is our people over the years have been lethargic, and they have sat down and allowed the system to become a monster, and it has gotten out of order and out of control, right? Mm-hmm. But the Constitution is there, right? For instance, when a cop stop you, right? It's the Constitution is supposed to be enforcing, not these damn bylaws and codes and statutes and all of these man-made make-up crap where our forefathers didn't sit down and hammer out. The Constitution was sit down and hammer out with our forefathers, and it was intelligently designed to protect our rights and freedoms. But what we have had now is corporations have turned the thing around and turn us into debt slaves, and they kind of stop us and put on some charges on us and take us to the court and suck money out of us. All of those was not part of the plan. You understand? So yeah, I just want to say that to make people understand that it's all Constitution. You get the maroon card. Why? You have the right to self-identify. You understand? You don't want to be a citizen any longer. You want to be a maroon or a Moor. You say, I need my card. You call up Gadai and you say, yeah man, hey, I don't want to be no more part of the Babylon system where tax the hell out of me. Right? And I take away all of my rights and things. I want my maroon card because I want to be able to come out of the system that they create. They create citizens. But when you get your maroon card or your Moor card or whatever, you're now saying I am a sovereign man or woman, right? And I'm not under your jurisdiction for you to come and harass me or touch me or anything. Yeah, I hope the people understand. It's all about the Constitution, which is the law of the land. It is the supreme law of the land.
Well, I think we have. Hey, Jan. Hello, how you doing, Janet? Grand Rising. How you doing?
Grand Rising.
Man, I tell you, we are here talking about Willie. This is the Lumi headquarters. I have on line 2 right here, and I think we have discussed the maroon ID. We're getting that, but when you get your maroon ID, you get is a whole key to a kingdom you get, because here comes the maroon currency, and great things have been going. I think you have some breaking news that I was privy to the other night. Madam, can you give us 5 minutes to elaborate on the progress that has been made as far as our own currency for the maroons?
Yes. Is this Willie that I know?
Yeah, one and only. Willie, say grand rising to your sister, and please identify yourself, sister, so our listeners can know exactly how powerful this department is. I'll let you two do the necessary introduction.
Are we on?
Yes.
Are we on here?
Janet, good to hear your sexy voice.
Yes, Janet, I call you out of your character this morning because I am overwhelmed. We're talking about the maroon ID, how to speed up the process, because I have taken onto myself the liberty of assisting our brothers and sisters in any shape or form, and Willie has been doing his homework as far as finding out more about the sovereignty and how we are subjugated by the corporation under the appellation that they've given to us to walk around with. But I wanted to get your incentive with the groundbreaking news of the Lumi. I hope I don't catch you at a bad time, did I?
Yes, in a way, because I have a presentation tonight and I'm preparing for that. However, I'll take a few minutes to just talk a little bit about it. Yes.
Thank you.
So, the Lumi now transition into another form where they have a program established for a person that lives in the United States. So, Rasgadites, that would be for you because you live in the U.S. and it comes with many, many benefits. One of those that I left with is that you know what? I have to confirm certain things on it because when I was on the call, it's like I wasn't fully cleared on what exactly we would be getting. But from what I understood at the moment is that you would be able to get a card that you will be able to take that card to any Walmart. Will you, Rasgadites, you can confirm this?
Yes. All Walmarts are under the maroon subjugation monetary thing.
Right. So you will be able to use that card at Walmart, and it comes with a lot of incentives. They were encouraging persons to sign up on the 1st at midnight. So you'll be able to get whatever it is. It comes with referral fees as well. I'm not too clear on certain part of it, so I won't go into that. I've been trying to reach out to them to get a better understanding.
Yes. I was on the Zoom chat, Willie. I didn't get to have you on it, but the development is that several of the merchants that or here that works under the judiciary of the United States, they have conformed themselves to the monetary exchange of the Lumi. And my brothers and sisters, as we said before, digital currency is another opportunity. It is not, we are looking at opportunities, my brothers and sisters. Paper dollar is an opportunity. Digital is an opportunity. So, and we will not forget our bartering system where we swap a piece of yam for 6 bananas. We're still going to have that in place. But I'm urging our brothers and sisters to utilize the opportunities that are coming about. As we've been telling you about that, we need to document ourselves, and that has been the journey that we've been on, and now we're also financing ourselves. So out the Lumi is a sun-based currency, and as you know, that is the biggest and largest currency that you could ever tap into. But now we have backative from our brothers and sisters who owns mountains of golds and diamonds. Mountains. You may not believe what I'm saying, but one of our brothers and sisters on the continent of Kemet, aka Africa, has just, I think it's Angola, has just found an entire mountain of diamond. these are realistic things that the corporation was hiding from us. So now you see what Kanye West is doing. He's resurrecting all the billionaires that is maroons to forcefully come together. So I don't think money is our problem. It is organizing and centralizing, which we are dealing with. So I am happy about this Lumi money, because if Walmart, one of the biggest brand inside the United States, has bowed down to the understanding that the maroon Lumi money is tangible. Janet, how excited are you about this?
You know what? I'm disappointed in one sense, but excited, because I'm disappointed because Canada is not privy to that right now. It's only persons who are living in the US will be able to have access to this program at the moment.
Yes.
Right, and those are some of the things I want to find out through my questions. When I get them, I want to find out why is it that we here are, as you know, Canada and the United States could be considered as one. So could we be under that umbrella with the US?
The difference with Canada, with the trading route of the Canadian corporation, is that when I speak to Timmy, he is on the understanding that we understand that the Commonwealth countries, they're going to be a bit harder to deal with, because the Crown still has a clause on the so-called Commonwealth. So anything that, like for instance, the United States of America, we deal straight through the family base of the Rockefellers and these fellas who are implementing some of these federal laws, because the federal agency is not a government entity, it's a private family entity. So what we've been doing is letting them know that we're standing on tangible resources that can back whatsoever barter system we choose. Now Canada under the Commonwealth, just like how we're fighting to have the Lumi replace this fictitious note that the Jamaica Corporation is using under the so-called Bank of Jamaica, which is owned by the Bank of England. It's a conglomerate. So we're working through the mechanism. I want my brothers and sisters in Canada to still sign up, because you can accumulate these funds for your children there. And I want to say, stop the rhythm, let me say this to our brothers and sisters over there in the UK. I have a meeting that is going to be on our radio station for this Saturday. It is where the Windrush family, we're understanding up to $62 million, $1,000 have been issued to one family. So the corporation is bleeding people. Get your bucket and pile up as much of this riches that they've stolen. You're entitled to it. I'm asking our brothers and sisters to stop being fearful of the corporation. If you're living in America and you need assistance, we have the numbers to let you go and call them, and they will have to assist you. You don't have any money, don't sit down and they put this 9-to-5 crap into your head that they don't have any money. It is ink and paper, and the agencies have to free up this. Now, Janet, for those who are listening who didn't know that people are getting up to 500 pound/Lumi into their account. Yes. Tell us about that and the sign up mechanism, because people call me 260-209-8730. I am not playing. I need at least 100 of my brothers to sign up to get their rights activated. Talk to me, Janet, about this this $500.
Okay, so as of October 1st, anyone who are Jamaican can now sign up for the £500 every month. And it's going to be issued on the 1st of October. So even if you sign up in November, December, they're going to retro you back to October 1st. Not to mention the Lumi that was rolled out prior to October of 2020. Now, that's not retroing back anyone. So if you sign up today, you'll be getting that 6.26 Lumi up until September of next year. But this reparation money will be given to African descendants, Jamaican more or less, persons born in Jamaica for up to 33 years. And I will repeat, 33 years that will be given. That 500 pounds converts to 3.38 point something lumi. So it will be converted into lumi, and they're saying that even if we pass on, you can now hand that over. It will be left for your generation and generation, because this is how we're gonna build wealth. That's why they started. But if I go back a little bit with the bartering system that Rasgada had spoke about earlier, so that's exactly why the Lumi started. It was a bartering system for us to trade amongst each other, not to spend it outside, but we could trade business services, right? So the more businesses we have on board, now we can utilize the Lumi to shop amongst each other. So that was the purpose for starting out the Lumi. Now, in terms of registration and all of that, you can go to www.eco-6.com to register for the reparation funds. If it's the Lumi that you need to sign up for, you can go to www.connect.swiffin.com, or you can connect with myself, who is in Toronto, which I was hired 2 years ago to be that person to register persons for this money. I can be reached on WhatsApp at 647-760-9294. All right. We need to get this going, because as you see, 2022 is almost ending and they're rolling out. By the way, October that just went, 2 years. It's been 2 years the Lumi rolled out. And they're also giving away 6 months bonus for the Lumi. Just a way of saying thank you, because a lot of people had to wait and thought nothing was happening. So they're giving that as a bonus, and also as for the 2-year anniversary gift.
Hold on, hold on. Willie, I see your monitor going up and down. Do you have a concern?
No. Sorry.
So Willie, continue, Janet. Continue.
Yeah, so basically what I'm gonna say, thanks Rasgada for calling in, but I'm gonna say that people, please, this is real. It is I got to the point that I've been talking, but I'm now getting phone calls. And I would advise everyone or encourage everyone, when there's a meeting, please jump on that platform. If you have questions, you can go directly. Chief Samako, who is the head person of this, he's on the calls. You can ask him questions as it relates to the movement that we're on in Jamaica. There's a constitution that they started. There's also a charter of rights. If you go on the website, you can the information is there on the site about the changes that's been making for us moving forward. They're trying to give us sovereign, right? This is the whole reason behind this, that we can stand on our own at some given time. So we're looking at the fact, because we've used to this fiat money, because the fiat doesn't have no value. There's no value to fiat money at this moment. It doesn't matter which country you're in. The money has no value. But here comes the Lumi that has gold backing it, and it has solar energy backing it. And for those of us who is familiar with Bitcoin, when Bitcoin started out, it started out with nothing. All right? And now Bitcoin is there. The guy that owns, or whoever he is for Bitcoin, he just purchased Twitter, which is Elon Musk. So we need to at least give something a try. We need to give it a try. It's not costing us anything to join. With Bitcoin, even now, you have to pay money to join Bitcoin for whatever you want. With the Lumi, it's free. We're not putting anything into it.
Well,
right. So
I want to thank you for your time. We have to cut it there. And, on Wednesday night, people, we do have...
Just repeat the website now.
Repeat the website.
Which one? Okay. So there are two websites. So the first one that I gave, which is the Eco6 website, it is www.eco-6.com. Right? That's where you would go to register for the reparation money. For the regular Lumi stimulus that's been distributed for the past 2 years, you can go to connect.swiffin.com. Or if anyone needs further information, you can contact me and I'll get to the persons in charge to give me an answer, or you can connect with them directly. They're now on most of the social medias. You can go into IG, you can go to Facebook. Information are there now. So nothing is hiding anymore about this movement that we're on.
All right. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you so much, Willie. Also, I'm gonna get the liquor man from the educational institution. And of course, as I was saying, Janet, every Wednesday we're broadcasting that Lumi connection, of course, on Fresh Radio Vibes, and it's getting bigger and better. I love how people are calling, and that's what we want. Even if you're not ready to sign up, call and ask the question that you have in the back of your head. Call and let us answer.
All right, and we'll have the answer for you, no problem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Willie. Thank you, Janet. Keep up the great work. And of course, today's program, it was all about getting your documentation. It was all about getting your maroon documents. Call me at 260-209-8730. 260-209-8730. Call Russ Gadite. I just tell you that with the artificial and the natural law, we have abundance of wealth as natural man and woman. But artificially, how we're operating right now, everything has been taken away from us. Remember, I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. And most importantly, the Almighty God that created heaven and earth love you even more. If you cannot be good, be careful. This is yours truly, Ras Gadite. Say yo, tomorrow we'll link again. Jagide.
This is a public announcement. A tree without its roots shall die, and a nation without its identity can never prosper. The Nyankipong Sovereign Maroon Global Tribal Nation Territories, partners of the UN ILO Indigenous and Tribal People Convention Law, have your identification card. Get it now. Your nationality as a maroon sovereign person give you the protection of the laws of the rights that you deserve. Application forms are available now. In the USA, contact Representative Russ Gadites at GADIETHZ Gadites@gmail.com, or call them at 1260-209-8730. Contact the Jamaican head office at 1-876-605-7987 or 1-876-773-4594. Visit our website at nyankipongmaroonsovereignstate.org. Call, sign up now. United we stand with the Nyankipong Maroon Sovereign State. This is powered by Fresh Radio Vibes and the Nyankipong Sovereign State. Now the dream has become a reality.